There are few video game icons as beloved as Link, and one of his most popular adventures, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, is finally coming to the Switch. While the game is pretty damn faithful to its original source material, this new and improved take on the legendary tale boasts a few exciting surprises. When Nintendo announced Link's Awakening in February, we didn't get a release date to go with it. We had to wait until E3. Expect to begin your journey through Koholint Island on September 20th, exclusively on the Nintendo Switch, of course. It shares a release date with the recently announced Switch Lite. A total coincidence, we're sure. And remember, as a gamer, you've got options. While $60 will nab you a basic retail copy of the game, $70 will get you the Link's Awakening Dreamer Edition, which comes with a hardcover concept art book. September houses some pretty heavy hitters as far as new game releases go. The wildly successful Monster Hunter World has its first expansion, Iceborne, slated for the 6th, while Gears 5 drops exclusively on Microsoft machines 4 days later. The 13th rings in the highly anticipated Borderlands 3. And if that doesn't satisfy your looter-shooter itch, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep deploys the 17th. The Switch itself has a pretty busy month, with 2 major JRPGs launching on it. Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch Remastered and Dragon Quest XI both released on the hybrid console in September. Yet, despite all this competition, Link's Awakening might be the one game to keep an eye on. Link's Awakening initially launched way back in June 1993 in Japan on the original Game Boy. It came to the West 2 months later, and it was received with open arms. Link's Awakening marked itself as a 4th release in the franchise, after A Link to the Past. More importantly, it was the first time a Zelda game made the leap to a handheld gaming device, paving the way for many more to come. In fact, Link's Awakening was so well liked that it received a remake, and we're not talking about the 2019 one. Back in 1998, Nintendo remade the game for the Game Boy Color, adding lots of new features like dungeons and, you guessed it, color. This new version, called Link's Awakening DX, was also a big success. In both games and the upcoming remake, Link washes up on the shore of Koholint Island, and after he awakens, he can't find a way to leave the island. In order to escape, he has to gather instruments, which will be used to wake up the Windfish. Upon waking the creature, he hopes to find a way home. The 2019 remake doesn't seem to be shaking up the premise of the original game, considering how faithful it's trying to be to the source. So what's new in this Link's Awakening remake? Well, there's actually a lot to digest for this upcoming release. From the graphics to the audio, everything has been remade from the ground up. But what we're most excited for is entirely new. While Link's Awakening presents itself as a faithful reimagining of the old Game Boy game, there's a major new feature that sets it apart: the Dungeon Editor mode. But if you're thinking of something on the level of Super Mario Maker 2, you may want to temper your expectations. You won't be able to build dungeons completely from scratch, but every time you clear a dungeon, you earn some of the rooms inside. These are called chambers. Then, in the village, you can piece together these rooms to create a unique adventure. The objects and enemies within each room remain the same, but the way these rooms are connected are at your discretion. As long as every doorway connects to another room and you have an entrance and boss room, your dungeon should be good to go. You'll notice the game gives you a preset area to fill with these chambers, so you don't exactly dictate the layout of your dungeon. Nonetheless, it's a level of customization we haven't seen in a Zelda game before. Nintendo also plans to launch a new Link amiibo along with the game. For those of you out of the loop, amiibos are collectible figures of various characters like Mario and Pikachu. The upcoming figure depicts a cartoonish version of our hero that we see in Link's Awakening. Oh, look at that face.
It's a new amiibo for The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
Yes.
And he's so shiny and adorable.
Oh my
God.
God.
I'm never letting him go.
Yes.
But this toy does more than decorate your shelf. You can also use it in your game, thanks to the Switch's NFC capabilities. By scanning this cute Link amiibo, you can add Shadow Link to any chamber dungeon. This enemy will constantly be a presence until you beat the dungeon, basically, well, shadowing you. If you beat the dungeon, you'll have a chance at reaping more rewards than usual, thanks to the increased risk. If you've been collecting amiibos already, then you're in luck. Nintendo also said that previous Zelda amiibos will work in Link's Awakening as well, including the Super Smash Bros. Ones. As long as it's a Zelda character, it should theoretically work. Nintendo hasn't revealed exactly what they'll do yet, but they'll at least have some sort of use. At E3 this year, attendees had the chance to play a demo of Link's Awakening. Many hands-on impressions came out, and for the most part, people have a positive outlook on the game. Digital Trends writer Stephen Petit applauded the game for keeping true to its weirdness, even more than 2 decades since the last remake. He wrote, "This weirdness is why I've loved Link's Awakening for 2+ decades. At face value, the moving parts are disjointed, but they inexplicably come together." IGN managing editor Samuel Claiborne enjoyed his time with the game as well, and he recounts the story of his time stealing from an NPC. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well. However, he also noted that the build he played had performance issues, with occasional choppiness and frame rate dips plaguing the session. Petit also noted similar issues, but he was more optimistic about it, saying, "I wouldn't worry much at all about the performance issues in the E3 demo. There's a better chance of Super Mario Bros. Releasing on PlayStation 4 than Link's Awakening not living up to Nintendo's rigorous standards." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more SVG videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.